All right, people. I don't have my teeth in, but we can struggle through this, right? So, normally I don't get involved with politics at all, and I really don't. I pay attention, but to me, it's like at best, it's like WWE wrestling, and at worst, it's like staying sober and watching someone else get drunk and make a fool of themselves, right? I mean, seriously, I see all the time with and I just kind of watch it from afar because to me, it's like politics like WWE wrestling in suits, they're just in suits, but there's much more at stake, right, with politics. Anywho, you got all these people, they talk, the same people I found out, it seems like, the same people that talk about this is the greatest nation in the world, the next out of their mouths is how bad it is. All the illegals and the welfare recipients and the homeless and yada yada yada. Right? And it's like, how is it the greatest nation in the world again? But then people are bitching about it, and they voted. I had nothing to do with it. I stay right the fuck out of it. But nothing changes, and they still bitch about it. They vote, and they bitch. Nothing changes, and they bitch, and and nothing changes. But it's funny, and everybody's complaining about all this stuff, and it's like, well, if you don't like it, you can leave the country, right? If you don't like it, if it's the greatest nation in the world, but there's always problems with it, then you should probably leave, right? That's what they'll tell other people if you don't want to, if you want to exercise your First Amendment rights, and they tell you can't, and they say, well, if you don't like it, you can leave, shit, right? Well, don't complain about this country, you know, about the homeless and uh, illegals or whatever. And it's funny because, like, here's another thing, right? Like the homeless people. Most homeless people on the street are a problem because they're sleeping on the street, but they're not your problem financially, unless you're gonna go out there and give them some of your money. If they're lying out on the streets and barely scraping by and asking for spare change, unless you're giving it to them directly, they're you have no financial burden on that, okay? And then the other part's funny. It's like, okay, well, let's just say if all the homeless people were to all of a sudden go get jobs, we'd all be rich or something. All the crime would magically be gone, and we'd be rich or something. Is that how that works? I'm curious. Like, people always talk about, oh, the homeless people taking my money, or welfare people taking my money. It's like, well, I can kind of understand you work hard and some of your money's going. Maybe it's not going where you want to, but that's where you're supposed to vote and change it, right? Man, how does that work out? How's that working out for you? But anyway, that's my 2 cents. It's all goofy, but I see this shit every 4 years. They shuffle it, just like George Carlin said. They shuffle the shit around, and no one notices. No one. Life goes on, and people still fall for it. It's like the lottery, they still fall for it. Oh,